is Leslie, and today we're going to be going over different citations. So this is going to be a variation of citations that you may want to put in an essay that you write. So that could be a journal entry, a book, a poem. It kind of all just depends on what it is that you're citing. But let's get started. So here we go. So like I said, we have different citations. So our first one being journals. As you get into high school and as you kind of start exploring different kinds of essays, whether they're persuasive, argumentative, a bunch of different things, you are going to start looking into journals a little bit. Especially if you're writing a persuasive essay and you're talking about statistics or different data that's going to help support your argument, you'll find journals that different professors or scientists or people have written where they back up your claim. So for example, they might be things like increasing the amount of, increasing the amount of recess time for younger children will help increase their grades, will help them, focus more in school. So there have been different scientists and different people who have done studies like that. So it's really important for you to be able to understand how to cite journals so that you're able to look for these really solid pieces of support for your essays. So for journals, when you're citing them in a sentence or you're using them in your essay, the way that you're going to cite them is going to be by the last name. And just keep in mind, for most citations, when you're going to write them in a sentence, you're going to include the last name. So for example, if we had Wegner and Petty, we would have the author name, and then we would also have the year of their journal when it was published. So Wegner and Petty, 1994. And keep in mind that anytime that you're citing something in an essay, you're going to have a parentheses. So as you can see right here, we have that parentheses before Wegner, and then after the year, and then after the parentheses, you're going to have a period. For books and poems, it's essentially the same thing. So as I was talking about, it's really important that name of the author and always last name, but it's also, sorry about that, but it's also very important for you to state their name if you haven't before, just to kind of introduce them. So for example, if this author was named Paula Smith, the way that we would introduce Paula would be that we would say, in this article, Paula Smith stated blank, and then we would write what she stated. And we would, if we're quoting something directly from her book, we're going to put in parentheses still Smith, and then very important right here, the page number. So it would be Smith and whatever page number you can find the quote on that it is that you used. And the reason that I put books/poems is because poems are essentially the same thing. You're going to put that last name of the author, but instead of putting page number, you're going to put line number, because poems are typically not pages long. They're like one page. So, and they're separated by each individual line. So instead you would just have the line. Articles. So this is very similar to journals. Journals are usually lengthy research related things, but articles can just be about anything. Think of it kind of like a news article. So if you ever cite anything like that, or you're reading an article in class, the way that you're going to do it is this first example right here, where you'd still have the last name of the author, maybe the year that the article was published. If you want to, most high school teachers don't require it, but it would be the last name of the author, the year, and then the reason. Normally, I know most of you know it would be the page number, just a solid page number, depending on the article if it's multiple pages. But if, let's say you're paraphrasing or summarizing, if you want help with that, we do have a video on that. But if you're paraphrasing or summarizing and it's on multiple pages, so it's like 41 to 42, or if you're quoting something that starts on page 41 and goes into page 42, the way that you would do it is PP 40 and then 45. If it continues on, or if you can find it on 2 pages. But if it continues on, it would be like this, pp 145 and then the little dash 148, the hyphen, not dash. And that just lets your reader know that you're citing from multiple pages. So our final example, just so that you know, and all of this is kind of going based off of MLA style. So that's going to be the essay that you'll be introduced to in high school in the essay writing format. So for MLA, we have, let's say the last name of an author is Metropolis. And so this is his last name, and this is the page number for reference from a single author, not angle, it's single. So that's how you do it, last name page. And then it would be Metropolis Shinto 129 for a source by an author who's a creator of more than one of your sources. So if, let's say, Metropolis, you're citing multiple articles that he's written. So let's say one's called Shinto and one's called Pinto. You would put Metropolis Shinto and Metropolis Pinto every time you're talking about it, and then the page number, just to be able to distinguish. And then Metropolis Shinto Fitzpatrick 191 for multiple citations where one author has multiple works in your paper. And then here we have the little semicolon for multiple citations of two different authors who only have one of their works in your paper. So, and then again, kind of going back to the main thing that I was talking about, anytime that you cite a source, you want to make sure that you have that ending period in your parentheses and in your citation. So I hope that this definitely helped clear up some things and that it makes sense. Just always remember last name, page number, or last name, line number. Those are going to be your most essential things. If you want to learn how to cite for your MLA, your works cited, we have a separate video on that, so you can go look for that. But hopefully that helped. I really hope that you're doing amazing. So thank you and have a great rest of your day.